Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the King's Indian Speedrun. This time we're going from 1200 to 1300 and we're using that same setup that we have been using, and as you'll see, continues to be quite effective. Enjoy. All right. Hopefully you guys, a couple days off. Hopefully you guys didn't forget about how we play these lines with white especially. So against c6, if knight f3, d5, d3, we face a queen trade. So against c6, I like to start this way so that there's definitely no queen trades. And there's nothing wrong with that line, by the way. That queen trade line is actually kind of good for white. But I'm going to avoid it for the purposes of this speedrun because I think a lot of the point of this opening is that you get a nice attack going. And it's not super easy to showcase that if the queens are traded. And for that exact reason, obviously here, if I take with a knight, I even lose this pawn, so it's definitely not good, but I want to keep the queens on in general. Let's get our bishop here. The queen is going to probably drop back at some point to e2, but we're sticking with the usual moves for now. Okay, and we know that eventually in this game, we want to play the move f4. So there's no way our queen can stand that square. Our knight might want to use it. Queen has to take a step back. King wants to go to h2, f4. And I would say most of these moves we've seen before. These should be not the trickiest. And okay, here's an easy one. We can't even play f4, so this king h2 move should make a lot of sense. If you guys are wondering what the music is, yes, we don't have the now playing on the screen, but exclamation mark song always tells you what's playing, so don't worry. You can always do that. Okay, bishop here. I mean, I basically see no reason not to just go c3. c3 is a move we often play, and here, I mean, it just makes sense. I think maybe one or both of these moves is going to make all the difference. Let's go for e5. Knight's going to have to take a step back and then keep launching. Okay, now we've got this d4, knight f3, g4, f5. I'm looking at these moves. Again, pay attention to the fact that my bishop on c1 pretty much doesn't need to move. Like, I can do all this stuff. That's going to be great for me without having moved this bishop at all. So my opponent plays what I would call a pretty crafty move. Like, he wants to play knight here and attack the pawn, and he's also pinning it. So I'm going to play knight f3. And after this, I'm going to play rook d1. Just a necessary move. Well, we haven't dealt with that yet, Fisher, but no, I would say the same thing if you play the London system. If someone plays e5, you just can't play the London. Right, and if you play e4 and you're trying to play a certain setup and they play d5, you kind of you can't really force it all the time. But that's one of the only openings I think where you can't necessarily play the King's Indian attack. Okay, well, we're being offered the opportunity to kick the knight out in multiple different ways. And yeah, just continuing like this though seems too good to be true. Let's do it. g4, f5. We do always have d4. The knight will get in there. Okay, f6. So there's definitely gonna be some weaknesses here for me. Take that. Wonder how he's gonna take back. This pawn is always a target, but if I rush and play d5, the knight jumps in and it's not entirely clear that I can kick it out. right? So this move would be a little fast, but b4 is the move I was planning. If he took with the bishop or the knight, it's gonna kick knight away, and that pawn should be dead ski. Let's start with a check. We're also hitting the bishop, although if he defends the check and the bishop, he's gonna face an even bigger problem in knight e5 or knight g5. So even though he hung a piece here, he actually probably made the right decision. So much so that I'm wondering, should I even take that? You know, first of all, we want to make sure our queen's not getting trapped. Queen here, rook there. Looks like our queen gets out. So no, we're not getting trapped. I think we can probably do it then. I think the closed positions are fine with the king's Indian. As long as you know how to attack, the right ways to attack, then I don't think it's something to be that concerned about. I think I might actually go rook here, rook e8, queen d6. Also looks pretty good though. Let's get on the open file. I think there's a real chance that he like even takes on e1, right, and runs into this. Yeah, queen can also drop back to c5 that knight, and we're up material here, so no need to be too fancy. Queen is nice and centralized on d4. Okay, that move might be a little much. I really want to do this, but our pawn is under attack, so let's play the less inspired bishop d2. Still though, up a piece should really be enough. Let's just attack this guy, and I don't see where it's going. Doesn't really have much to do but lose another piece here. I was waiting for this big time move from the guy. Very impressive. Queen g4. My goodness, where do they make these 1200s these days? Who is this guy? Queen takes g4? Zoinks. I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole. See ya. My goodness, queen takes g4. You know, hats off to this guy. That's impressive and nothing else. Just impressive. No, he took his time on that move. That definitely looked like it was purposeful. Bishop c3 to get on that nice diagonal. Bring the rook in. Oh no. The windmill. I gotta take his pawns first before I mate him. Oh, GG. Not the windmill. Yeah, I think when you get the windmill like that, if you are short on time, obviously you just mate them. But otherwise, it's just too tempting to take all your opponent's every single one of your opponent's pieces. The torture. That's correct, George. We gotta give this guy props, man. Queen g4 was a sweet move. You know, here, you know, my king can't make the moves necessary to defend my queen because they're covered by this knight. So I would have to play like, you know, for example, And the only way to not draw the game would be to go here. And I think white's still winning here. I have no doubt about that, but still an impressive move. All right, Big Gav is here. Yo, welcome Andy. Just started our speed run for the day. All right, let's go G6. D6, just kind of taking care of that square a little bit. So, you know, in the past when this has happened, I think we've pretty much gone knight takes and then d5, or even just d5. Like, when these two things are like that, there's almost always something with d5 that just works. Either knight takes or pawn here to take back with a knight and then threaten the bishop. So I think I'll do this one. This is a very similar kind of tactic to one we've used before. I mean, call it a tactic. You know, it's not not like insanely special. Just simplifies things, but it's often in black's favor to do so. Get a little more space, and probably at some point play e5 to open up this bishop a little bit more. No, that's a good point, George. So he's coming at me here with knight f6. That's a hurtful move. Very hurtful. Knight f6 is gonna win my queen. I got an undefended piece here. Hello, Eddie, the endgame magician. Best way to deal with that? Well, this one looks pretty good, and I say that because I think he's gonna go here, and then maybe even bishop f5. I wish there was some tricks down there, but I don't think so. Let's play this one. Knight g3. I think we'll actually step back. Keep the bishop on the board. I'm not gonna just hand that over to either Gav. Gotta be the knight move next. And if knight g5, we're always taking the queen, at least at the moment. I feel like I probably want to stop knight c5. I mean, you know, the bishops right now, they really need to move e5. But I tell you, it's not very easy to achieve. So I'm probably going to stick with a move that we've kind of touched before, which is this h6 move. Stay within the realm of the type of moves that we've been playing from the get-go. Okay, this move, I mean, I can play b5. It's not necessarily like a permanent fix, because he could just play rook c1 and threaten c4 again. Once he plays c4, knight takes, here, here, here. The tactics there should never work out for me. So I think the bottom line is we kind of have to move the queen. And where's a good square to move the queen? Probably, at this point, maybe a5. Almost inclined to say a5, because if I move the queen, then the knight can actually move. It can go to the c5 square. So I don't want to play queen d7 and just allow this. If I know this is coming and I gotta move my queen, well, it's actually a pretty easy move. I just had to move it out of the way. Knight c5, bishop d5, and we continue. This pawn is also going to be hanging in some lines, and yeah, this was the problem, is that if you play c5, well, hang on, I've got literally all my pieces, every single one of them, watching the d4 pawn, so can't quite do it. I think we'll take with the rook. I have devious ideas here, attacking the rook. So, like, you know, for example, I could, like, you know, leave this rook, and he wouldn't be able to take it because of that, right? So it's very typical with, like, be double up, like, oh yeah, takes, for, you know, a nice even trade for the boys. But actually, I'm gonna insert queen takes e1 with check first. Sorry. And that should probably be a little too much for Gav to handle. Feel bad, Gav put together a solid game there. But, you know, when it rains, it pours when it comes to blunders. That's for sure. GG to Gav. Handshake. Honestly, both games were pretty good so far today. Yeah, Dabcat, 100%. You got it. So, you see here the account. If I go to like my profile, yeah, it just says like all rating points will be given back. There's a promised land after 1200, Neil. There must be, because these games, even if you're like 1500 strength, you're not leaving 1200. I mean, you're staying right there, man. You're going nowhere. I get it now. It's a tough life. Okay, so hang on a sec. He looks thirsty to do something like that. Let's just go h6 and see what he's cooking. Okay, that's what I like to see. His peak was 1400. And my peak is 1227, so yeah, I heard it there first. Let's go knight. Probably knight d7, e5, queen e8, these kind of things. Like, sort of want my position to look like that. Now, if his bishop was there, we'd be going for the typical London trap, but not quite. Let's get that c6 move to take care of the knight squares. And then queen e8. So a very similar kind of move that we've seen before. There's no threat of this. He's got it covered. Queen e8 is nice though. Gets out of that pin basically. Just don't want to worry about that. So I'm thinking about taking this. There's also knight c5. I think what the most in line would be. I think we'll take, and I was gonna say if he takes the pawn, we definitely needed to play a6 to stop knight there. This move is just screaming to be played, but it does not work just yet. So I think it's just time for this one. f5 with this idea, and if e4, he is kind of trapping his own piece there. Same with this though. Isn't he trapping his own piece here? Gets a little bit messy after this move because takes, you know, rook arrives on e1, queen here. I don't think it's entirely obvious. I'll tell you what, if I play a6, I don't think he can do anything to stop this. So I'm gonna play this. Okay, this is what I like to see. I think b5 now. Force this move. And now we go for this. Can he even stop this? I don't think there's anything he can do. He could play h3, but even still, f4 maybe. So I'm gonna go for it. This is our g5 moment. I think we picked a good time after relocating his bishop to b3 for him. Queen's also covering g6, important to remember. If rook e1, I think knight e5 is sufficient, but also this. And that move, just don't make the mistake of pre-moving pawn takes bishop. But as a result, we're actually gonna get a couple pieces here. Your bishop's still trapped, boy. Yeah, let's get the knight in. Bishop f5. But I would say that in terms of the moves that black had to make in this, it was pretty standard. Like once you get the f5, that's why we play h6. f5, fit that pawn on e5. It all looks pretty standard. I'm going to take with the pawn here. Look to get f3, queen to h3, and just administer the mate. Maybe a nice little queen blunder for the boys. Knight f3 is a big threat. Bishop h3, even pawn f3. Okay. You might do this. Unfortunately, bishop f5 meets that very well, but ooh, bishop h3. Uh-oh. I think he's really trying to get d6 check. Just have this feeling. Let's go here. And I think it's time to take some stuff. The question is, are we taking that or are we taking that? It looks like open season right now. It all looks good. Bishop g3, eh? Bishop g3 looks pretty solid. I can't argue. I can't argue. Yeah, I don't know much to say against bishop takes g3. Rook e6, there's bishop takes e6, so I think it's a solid chat recommendation. Oh, he just took. Now, obviously, we secure the bishop checkmate here. Yay. Bishop mate. It still counts as a bishop mate. The last move was a bishop. Oh, this is nice. We're gonna get a straight up King's Indian, it looks like. Do you get better at chess with NordVPN? Absolutely. It's well known that the best countries for chess, you know, Russia, India, China, with NordVPN, you can just play as if you're from China and you're just gonna play so much better. I mean, that's just obvious. Hashtag home screen says NordVPN is great because it helps you evade IP bans for cheating. Listen, if it sells NordVPN, it sells NordVPN. I said nothing. I said nothing. If it sells, it sells. That's all I'm gonna say. If it sells, it sells. Okay, we got e5 in. Probably soon time to move our knight maybe to h5 or something and go f5. White is just he's cranking all the pawns forward here. Well, I'm gonna play a move here which I think is quite instructive. It's not a mind-blowing move to those who are firmly in tune with the game of chess, but a5 here is going to be particularly annoying for my opponent to deal with because he cannot meet it with a3 in recapture. And he wants a pawn on that square because he wants to stop my knight from going there. And if he plays b5, well, then he's got his queen over here, his knight over here, and he's completely shut down all the squares. If he goes here and I go there, it's completely locked up. And we all know who's playing for a win over here. It's me. It's your boy. Right? It's not happening for him. Kingside is my side. I'm about to launch a serious attack. So if I can close things up over here, I'm definitely interested. Start by taking. All right. Start by taking. I can probably disrupt him a little bit here with the move knight g4. He's gonna have to take a step back. And his piece is like, he's just fully neglecting the king side here. Only queenside pieces, maybe long castle? I'm just wondering, like, does he know he has kingside pieces? Maybe not. Let's go F5. Full throttle. Ooh, wait. How full do we want the throttle to be? Hang on a sec. I think we go here. A very classic beat. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, we got him. I don't think he should have developed his kingside pieces. As soon as he developed his kingside piece, he lost. He lost the game immediately. That's a lesson. So, what did we learn from this game? First of all, if you can play A5, seriously, and they cannot meet it with A3, it's almost always a good move. Like, if they have pawn on B4, you play A5, they can't play A3 because of the pin. Like, they can play A3, but it doesn't help. Right? If they can't take back with the pawn, it's almost always advantageous for black to play it. White goes here, this is all closed up, and black says, okay, dude, like, what are you doing? This is so irrelevant. Every bit of counterplay you might have had on the queen side is completely gone now. Terrible for white. And black just, you know, steamrolls you on the king side. And if you go here, well, it doesn't matter. There's no way you can take back the pawn. You're gonna have to take with your queen, and this is what we had in the game. Black plays b6, he owns that square for his knight. White suddenly doesn't ever get this move to crack open the position, so white's counterplay is like significantly reduced here as well. And there's no good way to meet it. You either capture, push, or get captured, and the result's the same. Black gets this square. So this is probably the only important thing I would say to remember from this game. Uh-oh, this guy's almost at 1300. I didn't ask for this. Hello, Dr. Lord Mayo. Ah, tricky guy. Okay, he's doing a funny looking setup here. Does anyone have the money line on him hanging a piece here? I think it's a strong money line here. Oh, E4, unbelievable move. Very impressive. Seriously, that was really good. Let's do our typical King's Indian moves. So C6 and Knight C5. That was awesome, actually. A lot of people would lose some money, including me. I would have cranked the money line on E5, E4 working. Knight here. Sure, we want a rook on D8. Also, maybe bishop G4. Okay. I'm definitely thinking about bishop to G4. Just to take this. And also get the rook over to D8. I'm looking to make a dark square promise here. Pawns do not matter in favor of me showing King's Indian plans. So please let me take this. I'll promise I won't take your pawn. It's a scout's honor. Yeah. Okay. We got a good deal. So we get to witness one of the best things to do in the King's Indian. To give up your light squared bishop for the knight. Because you've played a structure where you've gone E5. Really, pawns are starting to get fixed on dark squares. The knights should kind of rule this game. Knight E6, Knight D4, or Knight F4. The dark squares are what matter, and white's actually traded off the dark square bishop for our bishop, which was not so great. Not so great. So let's see if we can, first of all, let's probably do this. The Queen E7 after Queen E3. Chess Squire, no, this speedrun is not on YouTube yet, but I think the first episode will probably be in a couple days. So maybe the 1st of April, or maybe Maybe that's gonna be an April Fool's upload. Ha 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 ha. I never understand these April Fool's YouTube uploads. It's like, chessbrahs are gonna quit streaming. Obviously, it's a joke because we all know that we'll be charging $150 for a shot at the age of 55. And we also know that you guys will still be paying. Queen c5, a nice trade initiated here by moi. $200 song request, $150 shots as the boys continue the legacy into the 50s. Okay, so we've got the ideal, literally the ideal position. The pawn covers these two squares, which means the knight can't be bothered. The knight covers these two squares, which means the rooks can't infiltrate. And the pawn covers these two squares, so the knight can't get in either. So this arrangement of knight and pawn is just great. It's just great. Let's bring this rook over here. I'm even so proud of my control here on the d file that I don't even need to be on the d file. It's just a good position. Rook a3, go me. See, he's trying to double on the d file, but for what? There's nothing to attack. Nothing. Right? Meanwhile, I'm the one taking all the stuff here. Okay, again, this pawn can be taken, but I lack interest in that pawn. It just doesn't do it for me, you know? Doesn't do it for me. Maybe rook d8, you know, takes, rook here, takes, king f1. We need this to happen. Rook here? Where are you going, brah? Back? Well, get the hell back there, why don't you? Make yourself known. Okay. Let's attack. Notice how painful his position is to play. He can't move the damn knight anywhere. Really, really annoying. Okay, now we can take it. This rook's gonna have to go somewhere. Interesting. No matter which rook I take, he's got a safe way out, more or less. But still, this knight can't really move anywhere, so I'm gonna take this one. He's got to take that, and then after rook d2, again, this knight can't go anywhere. And, you know, the poor lad might very well walk into knight d2. It just, the tea leaves are there. Because otherwise he's got to play something like this, and I'll just take, and I'm up 3 pawns in an endgame. It all looks tough. Oof. I mean, even knight takes f2 should really be considered, but I gotta keep it simple. One time for the fans. One time for the fans. There's too many pawns here. This doesn't fly. Here they come. They come a marching, boy. Okay, that's another pawn. That is yet another one. Maybe we should play this out. Oh, he's not interested. I don't blame him. Put that in the win column. GG. What happened here? Ah, yes. So he actually played well here to play e4, not allow that. And Listen, there are going to be games where your opponent gets this move in. It's gonna happen to you, okay? It's not the end of the world, right? If you want to deal with the queen here, you can always take, play knight g4, the queen will have to leave, or you play knight g4 right now, and you get your king here so you stop the queen's invasion. So you should never be dealing with a position where the queen is on h6 and it's just permanently annoying you. But in those positions, right, where you've already exchanged the d-pawn for the e-pawn like this, bring a rook to d8. Yes, give away your light squared bishop, because it's all about the dark squares in this game. And if he had not played b4, I would have probably played something like a5 next to try to secure my knight's position on c5. But the way it happened was even better. Now there's no b-pawn, there's no d-pawn, there's no rook b5, there's no rook d5. That knight is staying there forever. And it's very, very, very powerful. Ride far. Okay, ride far. Okay, it's gonna be a d3 from me, pal. Oh, hopefully we have some plebs in chat. Plebs, quickly, you have a minute to vote. Which Slim Jim flavor hits different? Original, hot AF, or mild? Remember, every vote from a pleb is 5 cents in my pocket. 5 cents. Okay, bishop g4. Well, don't you know it? Here comes h3. And yes, we want to play queen here, but remember, these knight moves, always annoying. Wow, we got 5 votes in here so far. That's awesome. 25 cents. That goes a long way. Okay, he's hitting this pawn. Now, queen e1, I would probably go for if the bishop was still here. But because there's no pin, I don't think I mind playing queen to e2 to guard this. King h2, knight h4. These are all the kind of moves we want to get in this position. Yeah, we got paid a quarter for that. A quarter. It's big. Big time. I think it's time for our knight to h4 move. Now, bishop h5 can still be played. Yeah, I might even take a step back with my queen. But the other thing you can do after this is remember, bring your other knight in, because you're still jumping into the f5 square with this guy. So it's still pretty nice. As for this, hey, it's always tempting to take this bishop. So let's just go straight forward. Wow, he takes that way. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm gonna play b4. And, you know, maybe moves like a4, knight c4 coming up next. All the above. Certainly looks dangerous, put it that way. Okay, let's go knight here. Hit that bishop. If bishop back, I think it's time for b5 now? Question mark? Might be time for b5. Bishop a3 also looks good. At a crossroads here. Because b5, knight b8. Then if I go bishop a3, there's bishop c5. Which I'm not thrilled about. A5 is a nice move. Kind of restricts things here. And bishop a3 is another one, but then he might play b5 himself. So which one shall we do? I'm thinking probably Gonna go for a5. Seems to restrict and take the most squares, which is nice. Chess Tim, thanks for 77 months. Thank you there, Tim. All right, I think it's might be time to do this one. I was thinking about knight e3 as well, but this is just fine. I think we'll be all over these light squares in a sec. So let's do this. We'll go knight takes and try to put that knight to d5. Oh. He's making sure to keep that very, very powerful bishop. He wouldn't want to trade it for my bishop, of course. Why would he want to do that? My bishop's only strong and centralized. All those things. We want to get the bishop to h3, bishop c5 maybe. Okay, well, it's kind of walking into this, so I think I'm gonna play it. Bishop to h3 after this move as well. Try to gain some more time. And if he was here, I mean, I think it's just time to take that. Yeah, here we'll definitely go this way though. Bishop is better on h3 than it is on g2. That's why I did h4. As soon as you win the light square bishop, often it makes a lot of sense to do that. Hey, my bishop is a really strong piece, but that's material. I'm gonna take it and continue to reroute here. Either queen check or knight there. And yeah, I want to play rook a1 to d1. That's my next idea. Bishop g5, remember guys, there was always knight f6. So let's bring the rook into the position. g5. Wow. This move would have been a little bit like, it's the right idea to break this pawn structure, but unfortunately it passes over to me, free knight. And I think that's going to be too much. Now I'm actually up a full rook. I think we can get our checkmate here. Takes, g6, mate. G6 first. Well, now you just... Well, gosh darn it, now you're tempting me. Jack. Annoying that after this move actually isn't made. It is not made. Because queen takes. And queen takes h7 doesn't seem to do anything either. So I'm without a completely clean path to victory. Rook here, there's going to be a check. If he takes, we'll just take back. And here, this is what I wanted. Now we give this check, and with my queen here, I'm taking on f8, and then going to f6. And delivering a mate. With the rook, of course. Not the queen, but the rook. GG. GG to ride far. Speed only over ride far. This is a game I think we've almost seen before. I've even played these almost these exact same moves. So I think this position is like a core position. I think you'll see it a lot over the course of playing this opening. Because the most logical thing for black to do when you're playing moves like this that don't have anything to do with the center is, yeah, they're gonna put their pieces on the bare normal squares and then play d5. That always makes sense. So I think these positions are the ones you should pay attention to the most. Yes, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna castle, knights like this. If bishop takes knight, I'm gonna take with the queen. And if knight there, I'm gonna go back, followed by c3 and kick the knight out. And then I'm gonna play king h2, queen d2, so on and so forth. If it's more like the game, and I go bishop h5, well, I wanna play my move queen e1. That's the rock star move, but when the knight can go here or here, you just can't do this. Because this is too annoying. The only way to defend this pawn is to go back. And there's no point in going here and then going back. And if you play c3, you still lose. So better to just do this first. Cover those squares. The knight is just pretty much useless. I've shown this from both colors now. It's a really prominent idea in this entire system, whether you're white or black. Knight on c6, play c3. Knight on c3, play c6. And then, yeah, you went back. But at this point, we're doing all the standard ideas. King h2, knight h4. And at some point later on into the middle game, you're probably noticing that, yeah, if there's no immediate need to play f4, then I'm often expanding on the queen side with b4, a4, and once again, look at what move it was here. That's move 19. It was move 19 by the time I moved my bishop once. So if that's not a reminder, I don't know what is. Seriously, your bishop on c1 or vice versa, your bishop on c8 does not need... It's not like you should intentionally wait till move 20, but you don't need to feel the need to move it just to move it. Like, you know, oh, I need to finish development. No, you don't. Bishop on c1 is fine. You don't need to move it just to develop it. Is this so real or is this sus or real? Almost sounds like a, you know, to be or not to be. Sus or real? Hello, Yasser. That would be one viewer and one presenter, says Yasser. Yasser, you know, there's something that I don't think you'd understand, buddy. All right? And it's that old thing called a smartphone. All right? When I'm on my smartphone, trust me, I'm a whole different person. I'm no longer the presenter. I'm my own viewer. You know what they say? In life, you should be your own biggest fan. Yasser, you ever heard someone say that? You should be your own biggest fan. chessbrah took that to the next level. Bishop g2. Oh, is Yasser going to be here for the bishop pair? For sure, he's going to go queen d7, right? The thirst is going to kick in. There's no way this doesn't happen. There's just no way. Dude. There we go. Thank you. I got a bishop for you, Yasser. Woo! I'll give it to you the next time I see you, buddy. The thirst, I'm telling you, they all want that h3 pawn. And remember, I have no need to even capture this right away, right? If I take that right now, you're just gonna take it back. But if I play king h2, then I'm at least getting the next plan going, you know? The other thing, which I'm pretty sure my opponent's gonna do, like, pretty sure, is probably hang the bishop. I just got that feeling. So a4 is always way better than playing b4. Right? So a4, he's like, oh, let me get rid of that knight, right? So typical. Oh, let me get rid of that knight. Oh. 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 Give me that bishop, bud. I got another bishop for you, Yasser. You can have this one as well. Put it in the same box. Send you both of them. Courtesy of your old buddy Hambo. Now we got both of his bishops. I would call this game great success. Yep. We get it done here, Kevin. One bishop's just not enough, you know? It has to be more than that. Multiple Bs. Well, we do have maybe a knight takes a5 move. Honestly, I might not play it, but when you got guys like Yasser just kind of like just lurking, you need to play moves like this. Leaving pawns by the wayside is just not gonna fly. Maybe he thinks he can take this. Yeah. Guys, it's just I'm in his head right now. And he knows it. Now I'm in his head. He's got to get out of there. Unlucky. Unlucky. We got both his bishops. We got his pawns. And we got his rook. That guy did not have a good day at the office. GG. Alright, we got the white pieces. What's it going to be this time? Start with knight f3. They're expecting mainline theory. Play d3. Remind them that you're bad at chess and you're going to block your bishop in. All that stuff. And actually, don't think we've seen this, have we? New move, I think. Well, Blitz, you're 395. Well, if you're 395 Blitz, then there's a nice easy tactic for you right here, Flames Olsen. I invite you, Flames, to jump into this position and experience what a 300 rated tactic looks like. And it starts with rook takes e6. All right? And this right here is where the 300 level tactic begins. Followed by queen takes h7. Now after queen takes h7, we're going to follow up with knight g5. We're going to be forking the king and the queen, and at the end, we're going to be forking the two rooks there. Now, the way I see it, any 300 should be able to find that. So yeah, welcome to all 300s. All 300 of you. Take this one as well. I'm gonna start feasting on all the pawns here. Yeah, any good 300 would see that. Yeah, all these pawns are mine. Yum. Yeah, at the end of that tactic, I had only won a single pawn. That was a tactic to win one pawn. That's it. You know, life's hard, man. Chess is hard. I did all that and I won a single pawn. Tough, dude. I'm in the mood to just send this pawn down the board. And I'm not meeting a lot of opposition at the moment. Okay, this is a very correct move. However, I think it might be a little bit too late. Tempting to play this, but I think the simplest is probably to just go here. The bishop pair is going strong. And I think you might lose this knight here. I got a feeling. Well, he's certainly going to be playing this move next, isn't he? Maybe let's go here. Trying to box the king in just a tad. There we go. So the reason I didn't play rook here He would have played g6, guarding the knight. It's too obvious. Rook a6. Ah, there you go. Play g6 for me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Make sure to take all these pawns. Don't want him to have even a glimmer of hope. No. Bring that bishop back. Well, hang on. I gotta protect that rook. I saw you there, dude. I saw you trying to snipe me. And we'll go for the world famous king checkmate. Oh, you just didn't have enough in the tank. My name's Speed Only, and that's all you get from me. Speed only. Win all my games by flag. Just a flag master over here. GG. I've been sharing this since earlier, guys. When I long ago set out studying the game of chess, you know, pursued the grandmaster title for my entire life, and finally achieved it, I thought, you know what? I want to play 1200s all day, and here I am, living the dream. They say some people live their entire life without finding their passion, and yet here I am, right? Just living it up. And this is the game for 1300. Let's go. We got Leonardo from Spain. Yeah, we do. Here we go. Knight c6. Okay, he's going chill, you know? He's going for d6. Get that bishop, get castled. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get h3. These moves should be automatic. I'm pretty much gonna ignore what's going on here and, you know, try to go for our plans that we've sort of talked about. Okay, dude. Remember, do you guys remember I warned you about this? I told you guys about this, right? I said, the reason we have the queen on e1 is to guard the knight after f4. But dude, it doesn't work when the knight's not hanging. I'm guarding the knight. So he's sacking a piece to win a pawn. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Now, question is, we have a few ways to simplify. Number one, you know, we play bishop takes and takes, or, you know, number two, we play this and queen h5, all fancy. But what my opponent has failed to realize here is he's not sacking a piece to win a pawn. What he's doing is he's sacking a piece to then take this knight, I assume. He's not even taking the knight. Who is this animal? Knight takes e4 and then d5. I mean, look, don't you all want this guy in your promos? I mean, if you're trying to promote to 1300, I'm sure we've all met final bosses that are a little more difficult than this. How come when you're 5 points away from your rating goal, you're not playing Leonardo 7-1-2-1? That's what I'm saying. How? How does that never happen to you? I know it doesn't. Don't even pretend. All right, we gotta move. We gotta move. Where shall we put this thing? C3, D2. I think D2 is probably a little more in line with our, moves in general. So I think I'll put it here. Okay, I'm gonna have to take that from you, and we are up a piece, but our opponent has 2 pawns. So because we're up a piece, I'm gonna probably immediately offer him a trade of queens, which he will likely decline. Also immediately though. Okay. Pretty impressive. Let's get the hell out of Dodge there. Man, this guy's coming at me with the smoke. I think I'm gonna hit him with f4. I think this might be a requisite move. There is no bishop g5. This is correct. This is correct. I'm actually surprised he took that. Do we want to take g5? Man, this guy's a full sender. This is a move, though, that might disturb him. Because he might be committed to the full send. You know? He might be sold on the full send. And I think rook f4 might potentially throw a spanner in the works. So takes here, I can understand, you know, g5. It's a little bit the initiative starts to form, but I'm wondering if rook here is going to throw him off at all. Rook here, knight f6. You know, is he the kind of guy that's playing a move like that? That's what I'm wondering. Is he the kind of guy? Honestly, I think he is. I think he is. I think he would play knight f6 after rook f4. So you know what? I think we gotta say power to this guy and just go for queen takes, you know? This is objectively the move. Queen takes f4. And oh my good lord, what is that? You know how much respect I was giving this guy? I mean, I was sitting there just, you know, really calculating some serious stuff. And the guy comes out with that move? Rook d8? You're not gonna frighten me like that? Let's offer a trade. You know, he doesn't look like the type of guy to take a trade. Like, he's already declined once. I just don't think it's even on his radar to do that, you know? It's very well defended, believe me. I'm well aware, but I still think that's the best place for the bishop. All right. All right. This is Bucko's song, right? Yeah, Bucko bonsai with his song. Okay. Whoa! I'm gonna have to take it. That was a serious move, though. He had some real ideas there. This rook's gonna have to get over here to e1. Man, he's really in the tank here. Maybe he doesn't see this. Because he's been playing some pretty tricky moves, I would say. Is he still here? Maybe I'll use the chess.com emoji system. Gave him the thumbs up. Bro just checked out. Straight up. Game abandoned. Like, that was enough. Bro just peaced out. Leonardo. Feels bad, man. But also feels good, man. 1300. There we go. Hey, Leonardo checked out. He honestly put it a pretty good game considering he played knight takes e4 for no reason. Hung a piece. That was a scary one. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you're not subscribed to the channel, you can do so right here. And don't forget to click that bell and turn the post notifications on. And if you're looking for more of the King's Indian speedrun, you can check it out right here. Thanks for watching.